US and UK prosecutors indict a Cambodian tycoon with Hong Kong connections in an alleged $15 billion cryptocurrency scam. Lawmakers greenlit an online ride-hailing service legislature, expecting to take effect in the fourth quarter next year. And Hongkongers can start getting treatment at the city's first Chinese medicine hospital from December 11th for as low as $180 per session. Good evening, you're watching Cable News. I'm Jeremy Chu. The United States has charged the founder of a Cambodian multinational over cryptocurrency scams that were run through forced labor camps. The U.S. also filed its largest ever forfeiture action to seize over $15 billion worth of Bitcoin in criminal proceeds. Sanctions are imposed on companies linked to the founder and his suspected associates, including several Hong Kong-listed firms. Jamie Liu reports.
The U.S. Department of Justice accused 37-year-old Chen Zhi, who is still at large, of running one of Asia's largest transnational criminal organizations. The DOJ said Chen operated under the guise of Prince Group, a Cambodian conglomerate focused on real estate and financial services with operations in over 30 countries. He allegedly ran pig-butchering cryptocurrency scams that built trust on social media before stealing funds from victims, causing billions of losses in the U.S. and globally. The DOJ said Chen's documents showed the use of phone farms, automated call centers that used thousands of phones and millions of mobile phone numbers to facilitate fraudulent schemes. The indictment accused Chen of operating forced labor compounds in Cambodia, where he told subordinates to beat up people who caused trouble but instructed they should not be beaten to death. Case details revealed that Chen's key associates included a Hongkonger, Sandy Zhou, who allegedly helped cover up Prince Group's criminal activities financially while serving as the Cambodian tycoon's financial assistant and wealth manager. At the same time, the U.S. Treasury Department worked with UK counterparts to impose sanctions on several companies linked to Chen. They include Hong Kong-listed slopeworks contractor Geotech Holdings and Kuhn Group Limited, a mechanical and electrical service provider. Jamie Liu, Cable News.
The city's lawmakers have passed a regulatory regime for ride-hailing services in the city. The government aims to have the licensed platforms to start operations in the fourth quarter next year.
我宣布議案獲得通過。
The Road Traffic Amendment Ride-Hailing Service Bill 2025 will become Hong Kong's first set of regulations that will legalize online ride-hailing services in the city. Under the rules, platforms, vehicles, and drivers are required to obtain a license to operate such a business. The licensed ride-hailing driver must also be the registered owner of the vehicle. Vehicles must not exceed 12 years of age and are required to carry third-party risk insurance. The market is allowed to determine fares, but authorities may intervene in cases of vicious competition. The government aims to draw up subsidiary legislations in the first half of next year to hammer out regulatory details, such as how many licenses will be issued for vehicles. The city's first Chinese medicine hospital will begin phased operations from December 11th. Bookings will start from next month. Let's take a look at the fee schedule. Government-regulated and operated by Hong Kong Baptist University, the new hospital in Tseung Kwan O will offer a dual-track pricing system featuring both subsidized services and private market rate options. Eligible patients can access government-subsidized general consultations for $180 per session, specialist clinics for $250. Chinese medicine prescriptions will cost $25 daily. The subsidized day inpatient service will begin with 25 beds, operating in morning and afternoon sessions for 4 hours each session covering accommodation, consultation, treatment, and basic tests will cost $450. Those not eligible for subsidized services will have to pay market-oriented fee levels of between $450 to $790, depending on the level of the practitioner they choose. While the city has seen a blooming pet economy, as official statistics show some 240,000 households keep cats and dogs as pets, generating a lucrative consumption market. Pet parents are reminded to pick toys for their furry children carefully, as the Consumer Council found that some dog toys available on the market contain allergens or even carcinogens. Evelyn Bai tells us more.
Dogs are found to love chewing toys, which makes them prone to ingesting harmful chemicals. The Consumer Watchdog tested 30 models of toys across 4 categories labeled for dog use on the market, including plush toys, rope models, models with rubber or latex, and models with leather components, with prices ranging from $30 to $179. The tests found chromium-3 in 28 of 30 models, with most migration levels well below the European toy safety limit of 2 milligrams per kilogram, though exposure could still cause skin irritation in animals. This leather toy by Gaunt Club showed the highest chromium-3 migration level among the models, reaching 647.7 milligrams per kilogram, exceeding the standard limit. This pig-shaped toy was found to contain a low migration level of carcinogenic chromium-6, which might cause cancer in both humans and animals.
Among all these 4 categories, leather toys was found to actually contain, on average, higher chromium migration level than the other categories, mainly due to the, we believe that it's actually due to the leather tanning process in the manufacturing. One more point to add on for the leather toys is very hard to wash. So in a sense whereby if we are concerned with the hygienic level, we believe that toys with using other materials will be more safe.
Meanwhile, 30% of the models contained small amounts of lead and 70% contained zinc. The Consumer Watchdog advised pet owners to regularly inspect their pets' toys for damage to prevent heavy metal ingestion and reduce the risk of poisoning. Evelyn Bai, Cable News.
In what could be a sign of tourism revival in the city, the number of inbound visitors has continued to show strong growth momentum. Hong Kong has received nearly 3.3 million tourists in September alone, a rise of 8% compared to the same period last year. Preliminary data from the Hong Kong Tourism Board showed. Cumulatively, for the first 3 quarters, visitor arrivals rose by 12% year-on-year to some 36 million arrivals. Over 70% of these visitors were from the mainland, which saw an 11% increase. The non-mainland market accounted for nearly 8.5 million arrivals, surging by 16%, with Taiwan, Japan, and Australia showing particularly strong growth. U.S. President Donald Trump threatened to terminate imports of cooking oil from China in a move to slam Beijing's halt of American soybean purchases, accusing China for being economically hostile. In Beijing, the foreign ministry reiterated that there are no winners in trade wars and warned that the proposed ban on Chinese airlines flying over Russia on routes to and from the U.S. also harm American interests. Evelyn Bai reports.
In a meeting with Argentine President Javier Milei on Tuesday, Trump addressed trade tensions with China, accusing Beijing of attempting to draw wedges between the U.S. and Argentina by purchasing soybeans from Argentina instead of the U.S.
China likes to draw wedges on U.S. ships too. Yeah, sure. I mean, I guess that's natural. It's China, and it's natural, but it's not going to mean anything in the end.
Trump also made it clear that any military activities with China in Argentina would not be well received in Washington.
I don't think you should be doing business much with, you can do some trade, but you certainly shouldn't be doing beyond that. Certainly shouldn't be doing anything having to do with the military with China. And if that's what's happening, I'd be very upset about that, yeah.
Later, Trump posted on Truth Social, saying he believes China is purposefully not buying our soybeans, which is an economically hostile act. Considering terminating imports of cooking oils as a form of retaliation, Trump said America can produce its own cooking oils without relying on Chinese imports. China, as the world's largest soybean buyer, has reportedly sharply reduced U.S. soybean purchases, instead sourcing from Brazil and Argentina. Argentina has sold soybeans worth tens of thousands of dollars to China and temporarily lifted its grain export tax, according to CNN. Separately, Reuters reported that several major Chinese carriers asked the Trump administration to drop a proposal banning them from flying over Russia on U.S. roads, as it would lengthen flights, raise fares, and disrupt services. United Airlines, meanwhile, urged the ban be extended to Hong Kong-based carriers like Cathay Pacific. Evelyn Bai, Cable News.
Hamas has returned the bodies of more deceased hostages after Israel threatened to cut aid deliveries to Gaza. U.S. President Donald Trump warned the militant group that they will be forced to disarm if they fail to do so voluntarily. Jamie Liu reports.
The remains were taken to a forensic institute in Tel Aviv for identification after being received by the Israeli military. The transfer came after Israel warned it would slash the number of aid trucks by half to only 300 because of a delay in Hamas returning the bodies. The military group later released 4 more dead hostages who were handed over to Israeli forces via Red Cross. U.S. President Donald Trump urged Hamas to speed up and said that the group would disarm in a reasonable period of time.
And they will disarm. And if they don't disarm, we will disarm them. And it'll happen quickly and perhaps violently.
While the United States brokered truce has come into effect in Gaza, tensions remain amid fresh violence. Hamas accused Israel of killing at least 9 Palestinians. The Israeli military said their troops had opened fire to remove the threat of several people approaching them and failing to comply orders to stop. Jamie Liu, Cable News.
Now let's take a look at the stock market. The Hang Seng Index ended the day up 469 points. Top active stocks of the day: Alibaba was up $6, Tencent was up $6, Pop Mart was up $10, and Meituan was up $1.60. Foreign exchange against the Hong Kong dollar: Euro 9.03, Japanese yen 51.29. On to the weather now. Mainly fine, isolated showers at first. The minimum temperature will be about 27 degrees tomorrow morning. Hot during the day with a maximum temperature of around 32 degrees. Now let's take a look at the weather around the world. That's our news tonight. I'm Jeremy Zhu. Thanks for watching and good night.